And hello there, and welcome to Canceling COVID. So good to be back with you on this Tuesday after a great holiday weekend last week. And of course, so much to talk with you about. But just getting started on this Tuesday morning, a busy week ahead for so many of us. For me, it's Praise in the Park. So, of course, asking for your support and prayers as we count down to Saturday. And hopefully, we'll see you there, an opportunity to come out and fellowship and be empowered. Lots of great things happening. We'll talk more about that. A great day of weather today, too, coming off of a lot of liquid sunshine, so drying out today. So we thank God for that. Thank God for another day, and we're so grateful for you. It's Canceling COVID, real talk, real resources, real solutions as we talk to you about what's relevant and what's happening. Not to get away from what's happening with COVID. Now we've got monkeypox that's on the scene. In addition to that, we've got polio that's now appearing in some of the larger cities. So a lot to continue to bring you, and we continue to work at this. If you are looking for past episodes or just kind of trying to figure out what we're doing here, you can go to TanyaRobbins.com. We've been at this now for over 2 years, almost 2 years, I would say. It's not over 2 years, almost 2 years. But we're grateful that we're able to continue to do this. And of course, we wouldn't be able to do it without our sponsor, Groundwater Solutions. That's groundwater-solutions.org, 704-596-0505. 704-596-0505. Dr. Tracia Black is going to join me in just a few moments. And she's our in-house expert that lets us know what's happening in the community. In addition to that, keeps us informed and on our feet about things to expect to come. Now, across the state of North Carolina, we know not just here, but everywhere, we're getting ready to head into flu season, folks. So not just COVID, but monkeypox, but also flu season. And this is not for anyone to be alarmed. It's simply to keep you informed so that you can make wiser choices and wiser decisions. So with that said, no reason to continue delaying Dr. Tracia Black, who is back with us. Yay! She wasn't feeling too well. And it worked out great because it was a holiday week as we headed into that. But leading up to that, you were a little under the weather. And I am so grateful and glad to know that you're feeling better. Dr. Tracia Davis Black, thank you for joining us as always.
Thank you for having me. And yes, I am feeling better. And in the spirit of transparency, I had COVID. So
Wow.
I was homesick, and I am glad to be back and functioning, and God is good. So.
Amen, amen, amen. So let's go ahead and dive in. We're talking about COVID. You know, across the U.S., over 95 million people have tested positive for the virus since the start of the pandemic. And these numbers are as of September 9th. And this is according to Johns Hopkins University. Let me say that again. Johns Hopkins University. Sometimes I have to remember to open my mouth.
Yes.
But I just wanted to say that, you know, we're starting now to see an increase again, especially as we head into the fall weather and winter months where more activities are inside. And this all goes without saying that there's an expectation that possibly we're going to see an increase in more cases. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. You know, we know going into the fall season, school resuming for the fall semester, that and when you're in close proximity, that there's going to be more. Tanya, can you still see me?
I'm still here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, so we know
Yeah,
that
that's my computer. So if it drops off, I'm still here.
you're still here and keep
Yeah.
talking. Yeah.
Keep
Okay.
talking.
Okay. So yeah, so you know, that's the reason in the early part of the pandemic that all of the congregate activities were canceled, you know, churches, houses of worship, concerts. We knew that the more that we're in the same room together, the more widely the virus will spread. So anytime we're inside, there's a higher risk of contracting COVID if there are folks who are positive. So with those numbers going up in a large room with a large number of people, a large building, it is very likely that someone in there is positive. So again, we always talk about this, take the precautions. Just simple precautions will assist you in staying safe and being COVID free.
So let's talk about though. We have at least 224 million people who have been vaccinated. As we head into this season of course, a higher increase expectations for COVID, how does this weigh into people that have been vaccinated and more people, the increase, let me reword this. People have been vaccinated, 224 million, which is a pretty large amount. Again, that's based on some research by John Hopkins. With the spike that is expected, how will that balance out?
Well, I think what we're going to see are kind of two camps of responses to being infected with COVID-19. You're going to have, you've got a few different scenarios happening. You've got folks who they have bypassed this virus during the whole pandemic, and they are contracting it for the first time. And it's hitting them hard. They're sick for weeks. And for a while, people were getting COVID and they're thinking, oh, they're bouncing back in 2, 3, 4 days. Well, those are the folks who typically, in my opinion, are the ones who've had COVID before. Perhaps they've been vaccinated and they are not having as severe a response.
Okay.
That's kind of your what's weighing in the ability to bounce back quickly. Then you have those who have never had it. And so they're being hit hard. I'm seeing folks with the brain fog back, the severe body aches, the pounding headache that just won't go away. And with them, and even those folks who bounce back quickly, in my situation, I did bounce back quickly. 3-4 days were really bad. And then I bounced back. And then maybe 2 days later, I started feeling bad again. And so I saw my physician, and he said he's seeing that that you're recuperating, and then you'll have a relapse, and then you'll get better. And so it's not that it's not lasting those weeks, but it's not consistent. So there's a lighter response for those who are vaccinated or those who and I'm not saying consistently across the board that just because you're vaccinated, it won't hit you hard. You reduce the risk of a hard hit by being vaccinated.
And that's kind of been what the whole idea has been all along. Or that was the premise that, get vaccinated. I know initially, and people love to say that, no, initially we were told that if you get the vaccine, you won't get COVID. But I had never heard that. It was basically, it would help you and pretty much reduce your chances of dying from COVID.
Right. That is the purpose of the vaccine, is a medical response to reduce the impact of being infected with COVID-19 or the risk of dying. Not that you won't get it.
Right.
Yeah. So be safe, because it's still out there and you could get it, but mitigate your risk of damage.
Dr. Tracia Black, Groundwater Solutions. So Dr. Black, boosters. There's a lot of talk about the booster shots being made available. And I'm just curious, do we expect a lot of people to get the booster shots? Because I saw where it was rolling out, and I believe it was one of the medical providers here, a big announcement that they would be the first to get it. And so I was thinking, is this going to be divvied out in a very slow rollout, or is it going to be readily available? What should we expect?
Well, I think it is going to roll out, not necessarily slowly, but in a strategic and select way.
Okay.
That I believe Atrium may be the first medical provider to receive the vaccine in our community, and this will be different. When the vaccines were originally distributed, the goal was to get them out everywhere so that anybody could go 100 different places to get the vaccine.
Right.
Well,
right.
That worked okay. You have some places where they had lines and lines of people waiting, and then you had some other providers where folks were trickling through the door. And so vaccines were being wasted, because once you open a vial, you have to be able to use it completely, or you throw it out at the end of the day. So we didn't, you saw providers around the country throwing away vaccines. So we're trying to be more wise in this season. And we want to send the vaccines where the most people are likely to go. So I say that to say is you might not have as many choices during this go round, but if you want it, there will be a place where you can get it. I do not believe that there will be a shortage. I believe that the government is anticipating that there will not be a mad dash and everybody in a fearful state like before, rushing
Right.
to get the booster. But there will be folks who want it, make a decision, and will decide that they will get it. So now, if we're wrong and there is a mad dash, that is the only way that I believe that there will be a shortage. And I don't believe that that's what's going to happen. If there
Well,
ends up to be that, I think
yeah.
that government will pivot and we will shift. And then they will start to get it out to more places. But strategically, they're trying to identify the pockets in the community where most folks will go.
And I think it's important that people know the backstory. People do understand. And so I appreciate you breaking that down, that if you open a vial and if it's not used, then it's wasted if you don't go ahead and use that. And so oftentimes people don't understand the strategy behind it. And so the way you've been able to explain, this is the plan, but if things change, then there'll be a pivot. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, they're saying at least 108 million people have already gotten their first booster. So there are some believers in the booster. And so that's encouraging as well. Let's shift a little bit now and talk about monkeypox. Across our state, there's only been 37% of monkeypox cases that are in people ages 18 to 29.
Mm-hmm.
That's from our Department of Health and Human Services. I believe I read that we've had one death as a result of a monkeypox. What are you hearing or seeing in reference to that? And, young people, be careful, use protection, whatever you're doing, where you're out and about. I mean, people are going to live, and we expect for you to do that. And you're a big advocate of just saying, take precautions, use protection.
Right.
And that's certainly the best advice you can give.
Right. I still am of the belief that monkeypox is most commonly transmitted during very close, intimate contact. It's not a disease that is casually transmitted, although there are cases where there have been non-sexual, non-intimate contact that have resulted in someone contracting monkeypox. So that means we should all be careful.
Right.
But we need to live, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
really be most careful with the folks that you are in close, intimate contact with. Have conversations. Let's talk about this. If it is someone who is typically someone that a man having sex with men, then have those conversations. If that is in any way possible, in that community, let's have conversations about the safety. Who else are your partners? Things like that. Things that we say, oh, that's not polite conversation. No, within that community, and if you love folks in that community, which I love individuals who are part of that community, I'm talking to them about safety. Are you talking to the folks that you're in contact with? Are you asking, are you involved with other people? Just like with HIV and AIDS, we had to have a lot of tough conversations. So I'm encouraging us to have those conversations. Don't shy away from loving people and doing life with people, but be wise. Be wise in this. I think you mentioned earlier too that their polio cases are back. Guys.
So let's talk about that, Dr. Black, because that right there has me scratching my head just a little bit, simply because when we talk about polio and monkeypox, and I mentioned that because in some of the larger states, I know New York, for one, has declared a state of emergency because they're starting to see it in their water. Now, monkeypox and polio, what's the relationship between the two?
So I can't really describe that in great detail. And maybe that right now, and maybe that is something we can talk about on the next show or future shows.
Absolutely.
I do have someone amazing that I know would be able to clearly articulate that, who has studied and just is phenomenally intelligent. And I have wanted her to be on the show. Excuse me, but maybe we'll try to revisit that later.
Okay.
But what I will tell you is that disease is associated with a lack of sunshine, a lack of heat, a lack of fire. And in this period in our history, the sun is not reaching us as brightly and as hot in such a warm way. We have lost heat in this space, global warming. It's hard to kind of tie all this together. But in this season, with us not getting what we need from the sun, disease is going to be more rampant than normal. We're going to see things that we haven't seen that for 100 years. We're going to see cases popping back up of random infections and disease.
So,
So
Dr. Black, when someone says, "Oh, I don't believe in global warming," or "I don't believe what she's saying," is that documented based on scientific research?
it is absolutely
Okay.
documented based on scientific research. And the sister that I'm talking about, she could tell you that research. I can't.
All right.
She's a deep scholar. I'm a person, I know a lot about a lot of different things. She
Right.
is a scholar of many different things, and health is her expertise. So she's explained to me about where the sun energy is and how it's impacting us, our moods. That's why there's more mental health distress. There's going to be a
Mm,
lot more physical health distress, including these random diseases popping back up. And so as
wow.
a community, we've got to recognize the risk, and as we always talk about, really push health. This is not about avoiding COVID-19. This is not about avoiding monkeypox. It is about, if we really want to live and live life to the fullest, then we've got to work on us to be the most and the highest health that we can possibly attain. And we have to train our children, and we have to take care of our seniors to make sure that they are able to maintain their highest quality of life and be healthy.
And you just nailed, that last line right there is the one point that we keep missing, I feel, in my opinion, is to be healthy. We
Mhm,
have gotten as a community so accepting of obesity,
mhm,
unhealthy eating,
mhm,
unhealthy lifestyles. And I am the first to tell you it's a struggle for me, addicted to sugar. I say that over and over, and it's just as bad as some of the other vices, whether it's drinking
mhm,
in excess or
mhm.
smoking in excess. You know, my doctor always says anything of too much is not good for you.
Right. Mhm,
Everything should be in moderation. And
mhm,
I wish for, my prayer is that we start living better and healthier. And that's
mhm,
what you just said, to be healthy. And maybe we can start with our children if we can't get through
mhm.
our current generation and so on and so forth.
So let me say this really quickly, and I know we're running short on time,
Oh, no,
but
we're good.
okay, I had the pleasure on Sunday to visit who is a person who is a mother in my life, and she's
Okay.
93 years old. And
Oh, praise God.
whenever I'm in her area, I call her and I say, "Can I stop by?" And she still say, "Come on by, see me." And
Uh-huh.
I popped in, and when I got there, she was sitting in her recliner, and I said, "How you doing?" And she said, "I'm hurting a little bit today, baby." And she said, "My arthritis is flared up." So I reach in my purse and I pull out something that my mother gave me. It's a natural pain reliever. Oil, jojoba oils, eucalyptus oils, and things like that. And it's said to relieve arthritis pain, pain in
Mhm.
your knees and your back and all that. So I just take it out and I say, "Can I spray this on you?" And she's real particular about medicines and things like that. Um, and but she's a vibrant woman. She lives alone at 93. She has a family that supports her, but she cares about her health, and she loves the name Jesus. So
Amen.
she's like, "What's in that, baby?" And I tell her all that's in it. And her daughter's there, and she said, "None of that is medicine." And so she lets me spray it on her, and I rub her knees down, and I just had the pleasure to do that, and her shoulders, and I talked to her about a massage. I tried to take her once to get a massage, and she said, "Baby, I'm not taking my clothes off in the room with somebody." So, but
Right,
she let
right,
me
right.
know. And then I told her, I said, "Now this will help." And I said, "But there are lots of things that can reduce the pain of arthritis.
Mhm.
Arthritis is just inflammation." I said, "We can change some of the things you eat," because she likes her bread, her white bread.
Right,
Now
right.
they're switching to wheat. They're gonna eat white rice, and it's so many things that you're eating that's flaring up your arthritis. I said, "You can take all this medicine, or we can really work on some lifestyle changes." But I'm real
Right.
honest with her, and I said, but I called her name, and I said, "You kind of hard headed though." And her daughter laughed. She said, "You can say that to her. I can't say that." I said, "Because
Yeah.
I love her, but that's our relationship. If we just change what we put in our bodies, much of the disease and the illness and the pain that we experience will go away." But we are
And
so hard headed that
right, it's so
we don't
stuck
want to.
on
We
sticking with
think
it.
that's hard work. Well, that's too much. I can't do that. Well, then we will have disease. We will
Right.
have illnesses that really are unnecessary.
And you make a good point. And I've learned that in trying to cut back on, you mentioned white rice is one of the things that I've cut back on, pasta, cutting back on that, and just increasing my exercise, whether it's just walking. These all make a visible difference. And I know it tastes good.
Yeah.
And it seems like, you don't want to give it up, but just try it and make an effort. And that's why I appreciate you bringing just baby steps. We've been saying that all along as well. Again, this is
Add
Canceling.
plant-based, increase your plants that you're
Right.
taking into your body. Minimize the other stuff. Don't cut it out, but
Right,
add
right.
more fruits and vegetables, things that have been grown. Your
Mhm.
plate should be colorful and vibrant. Um, that we know, the more colors, the more healthy your plate is. So
And let's
just
hear it though. We've been hearing that for years, but when you say that, people think colorful. You got some macaroni and cheese, you got some collard greens, you got color there, you got some yams. I mean, that's some pretty good color, Dr.
Mhm.
Black. And then you throw in a pork chop. What are you talking about colorful? I mean, that's colorful. So I
Mhm.
think people, they hear this and they still just kind of say, well, I just want to eat and I just want it
Yeah,
to taste good, not
yeah,
thinking about how it impacts them. But that leads a great segue into what's happening on Saturday, and you'll be there with your
yeah.
mobile unit and some of the things that we're doing on site. I've got Chef Jeff who's
Mhm.
going to be there, and he's going to do some cooking demonstrations and
Right.
provide some food and show how you can cook it and still include what you like, and it tastes really good, but it
Mhm.
will be healthier for you. So I'm really
Exactly.
excited about that. And then you are there to provide the health expertise to offer information as well as guide people and give them resources so that we can continue to do this thing called life and live it in a better way than some
Right.
of us are
More
living.
abundantly. Exactly.
More abundantly is the exact word. So that's on Saturday, Praise in the Park at Smithville Park, and we start at 5 p.m. And I just mentioned the medical village area. We've got an area for children as well as the empowerment village, because in that community, there's a thing called revitalization, also
Mhm.
known as gentrification,
Yes.
starting to take place. And I feel like it's great for these residents to have an opportunity to hear their options. I don't feel like they've been totally exposed to
Mhm.
everything that's available. And so again, that's on Saturday, and you will be there. I just appreciate everything that you do continuously as we keep this conversation going. Thank you for your sponsorship. And as we wrap things up, is there anything else that you would like to share?
No, just I've enjoyed the conversation today. I hope you guys out there listen.
Yeah.
Take some baby steps this week. Yeah.
You know what, Dr. Black? I'm sure there are a lot of people that would be willing even to work with people, our citizens, our neighbors, as I like to say,
Mhm.
who are willing but just don't feel like they have the willpower, don't have the resources, and don't feel like they know how to start. Are you aware of any resources where they can do this? Because it can be really tough if you've
Well,
always been doing it.
I will say this, and I will promote everyone, and so I
Hmm.
don't want to always seem like I'm promoting the programs that we're running, but we will help you do this.
Okay.
Our mission is to bring healthcare and access to it, equity to our community, that everybody has access to the same resources, that the wealthy or the more affluent, that we're having cooking classes, just like what Chef is going to be doing on Saturday, showing
Right.
you that food can taste wonderfully and be healthy for you. We are implementing weight loss programs, qigong programs, acupuncture, some
Wait
of
a
the
minute. What's Qigong? What's that?
Qigong is a African or Eastern type of like Tai Chi, if
Okay. Okay.
that makes sense. The sister who
Yeah.
I want to bring on, she could tell you in great detail what it is.
Okay.
But and she's my partner in bringing these wellness, holistic, alternative solutions to our community for our healthcare. But we are all about life transformation, not just your mental health, not just your physical health. That's all included, but your family health and generational wealth and all those things, really transforming the community. And our goal, our motto is changing the world one family at a time. And that's because it takes getting in life with a family one-on-one, and loving them and helping with each part of their life and giving them the resources in an equitable way so that we all can be healthy. We're all folks who struggle with mental health issues or addictions. We talk about, you see those commercials and you see very high end spas where they can go to.
Right.
We think about Betty Ford and where the rich and famous go, where you see, the person on the lawn doing Tai Chi in the morning and the sun is shining behind them. You see them later on in the day and they've got acupuncture and needles around them. They're swimming in a pool. They're getting that plate of vegetables and foods with 7 bright colors. And why are we not all entitled to that? Why can't folks who don't have $10,000 to go to a rehab center have access to the same level of care of what we all know works?
So Dr. Black, you all are offering all that, and you also just been certified. So kind of touch on that a little bit as we wrap things up. And thank you for making that point as well.
You're welcome. So we Tailored Care Management in North Carolina is still on and to launch on December 1st. That means if you have Medicaid, you may be moved into the Tailored Care Management program. That means you must have a clinical home or a medical home that is managing all of your health care. And so there are organizations like Genesis Project and Groundwater Solutions who will be certified. Genesis Project is already certified as a tailored care management agency where we will be managing care for individuals on Medicaid. Groundwater Solutions will be certified as an advanced medical home to take care of individuals' high-end medical issues. And if you need to be assigned to a medical home or a care management agency. And if you don't pick your own, then the state is going to assign you to a care home. And so it's really
where you guys come in.
That's where we come in. We are certified, and we'd love to be your care home. We'd love to be your medical practice. If you really want to get healthy, you want to work with folks who will love you and who will walk through this journey with you to get healthy, that's what we do. So please give us a call. The number's on the screen, 704-596-0505. And please tell the people you love, the people in your community, your neighbors, that this is happening so they also can pick where they want to be. There is consumer choice. And a lot of times we don't choose, and choices are made for us that are not always best for us.
I was getting ready to say the exact same thing, and it's not always in your best interest. So Dr. Tracia Black, Groundwater Solutions, Genesis Project, 704-596-0505. I so appreciate you. And again,
Likewise.
as always, thank you for taking the time to join us.
You are welcome. You all
right. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you on Saturday.
Okay.
As always, I really appreciate all of the insight. We hadn't talked to Dr. Black in a couple of weeks, so it was great to have her back with us as well. And looks like we've talked right up till time to get out of here. Again, it's all about Praising the Park this week. You heard me talking about it. So we're counting down, folks. It's free. And I invite you to please come and join us again on Saturday. Smithville Park, very easy to find. It's just off of exit 28. You go 77 north and just hop off the interstate. And we're right there on the right-hand side, 1 block up on the right, as a matter of fact. That's Praising the Park. Empowerment, Medical Village, a children's area. Got some exciting things for the kids this year as well, thanks to partnership with Chick-fil-A and the Charlotte Hornets. Let me see if I can get the flyer up for you really quick, so that I can show that to you. Let me try one more time. So Praising the Park, hopefully you can join us. It starts at 5 p.m. We've got plenty of parking available as well on the streets on Catawba, around the community, but also a parking lot right by the public library and at Cornelius Elementary School. Thank you to the school system for being supportive as well. Thank you for the town of Cornelius, to our sponsors, Walmart, that is, Walgreens, Coca-Cola, and for all our friends, including First National, Lake Norman Chrysler, Groundwater Solutions, and Genesis Project. Quick Trip, trying to remember everyone. Hopefully I didn't overlook anyone, but most importantly, I'm so grateful for your support. 16 years now we've been doing this, and we'll continue to do it, thankfully, because of your support, and we thank God that we're able to continue. Make it a great day. Be well, be safe, be alert, and check on your neighbor. Life's challenges make you better, not bitter. I'm Tanya Rivens. As always, thanks for supporting Canceling COVID. Have a great week, everyone. And we appreciate you because we know together we can cancel COVID if we just keep working at it with real talk, real resources, and real people coming up with real solutions. Enjoy your day, everyone. Thanks again.